Hello everyone, my name is Santa Sylvia and I'm from Bangalore, which is in the southern part of India. I have been working with Viva India since 2012, and that was my first experience or first exposure that I started working with children. Back then it was just a job for me, but then I realized the kind of work that I was involved in. I was mainly advocating the cause of child protection, and we've gone into more than 100 schools and colleges, churches and childcare institutions in Bangalore to help people develop their own child protection policy, because there is a law in India that every organization working with children, irrespective of whether it's a religious organization or a secular organization, that they should have a child protection policy. And in my experience, when we started talking to institutions about this, we realized that most of them had a policy, but the staffs did not know what was in the policy, and the abuse continued. Also, there's a research that's done in India. The statistics shows that 1 in every 2 child in India faces sexual abuse or they experience sexual abuse. And since I've been there when I was a child, I know what it feels like for a child to be there now. Just before the pandemic, I remember we were talking to about 36,000 students in one school, and more than about 1,000 odd children walked up to me and they were sharing their stories of abuse. And the worst thing there is not what they were going through, but they shared of how they didn't have a single person that they can go and talk to or confide about what they're going through, and they were dealing with it all by themselves. In India, in the education institutions and in our very own families, we talk to children about their body parts right from childhood. We teach children about the names of the body parts. But when it comes to the names of the private parts, we are very hesitant and do not even name the private parts. All we tell them is that it's a dirty place. And when the child grows up, as the child is growing up, when someone they know of, someone in the family misbehaves with them or touches them inappropriately, they do not know who to go and talk to, because all we're teaching them is that it's a dirty part, and therefore they have no support system. All of this that I'm sharing are stories that I've heard before the pandemic. After the pandemic, we thought, with so much of work happening around with organizations like us going to different institutions, and with the government saying that every organization working with children needs to have a child protection policy, we thought that the rate of child abuse will decrease. But during the pandemic, we only realized that the number of phone calls the child helpline received was increasing every day. And for the last 2 years during the pandemic, the situation of children has only worsened, and children are living in hopeless situations today. Just about last week, I was in a church which has about 100 branches, and I was in the main church that has about 200 people that go to the church. And I trained about 72 plus Sunday school teachers on child protection. And to my surprise, they were all experienced people, but they are hearing all this for the first time. And what I did there was very, very basic about who a child is and what is abuse, etc. But imagine if they are hearing it for the first time, but for about 15 years or 20 years, they have been Sunday school teachers and they are working with children. They are not at all equipped to kind of deal with stories if anything comes up this way. But towards the end of the session, the pastor realized the importance and the need for it, not just as a compliance, and then he requested us to also talk to the children about safe and unsafe touch. There were so many children in the church that walked up to me after that and cried and said, one girl who was about 12 years old was complaining about her very own father, who is also a believer in the church, misbehaving with a child, and the mother is well aware of it. But the mother says it's about the family honor and it's about the family prestige, so definitely the child will not share this with anyone. There was another child who walked up to me just after this activity that I did to help children identify their support system. So I'd asked them to draw their palm, their 5 fingers, and name people that they think they would receive support from, that they can go and talk to about anything. There were more than 50% of children in the church premises that actually said they don't have a single person they can go and talk to. While one boy walked up to me and said, I have been abused when I was a child, and even till today, I'm dealing with the trauma of that. While quickly after that, there was another girl that walked up to me, started crying, and shared that so far, till today, there's not a single person she can go and talk to. So every time she feels depressed, every time she wants to share her feelings or she wants to talk about something, all she does is write a letter to God and tear the letter, flush, put it in the commode and flush. That's the only thing she gets to do, and that's how she shares her feelings. So this is the situation not only of these 3 children that I shared, but many children who are struggling without a support system but are dealing with a lot of issues all by themselves.
2 out of every 3 children in India face physical or sexual abuse. Pray that God opens a door for us to reach out to more schools and communities, especially to help children who need us the most, and use us for His kingdom's sake. Please pray for the Teachers Support Programme, which is being prepared by the Viva India team to cater effectively and creatively to the education needs of the children, which has deteriorated due to the pandemic. The diverse nature of India poses different challenges, and each Viva coordinator needs to contextualise their work as per the situation they are facing in their cities. Please pray for all the 8 Viva coordinators and for the Viva India director Gary Kamal as he leads the team, and the network consultant Amita Bahoda as she supports him.